All right. So officially welcome back. Sorry for the several minute delay. We are going to start back where we're going to pick up where we ended last week with our beautiful ball. So look under your bed and find your tennis ball, your lacrosse ball, and I appreciate your patience as I figure out different audio systems. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the class. All right, if you'd like to use the playlist, okay, if you'd like to use the playlist I sent, I actually just was doing a playlist on Spotify of just like classical music songs I like, you know, like normalized, like high arts or whatever. And so it's just classical music, but some of them are kind of emotional songs. So if it does feel a little much, just turn the, just turn it off if you're listening to it. I'm going to play it in the background here on shuffle. So hopefully it doesn't interfere with the sound. All right, so I'm sitting on a chair. You can sit on a chair or a cushion. Well, actually, you want to either be standing or sitting because we're going to actually put the ball underneath our feet today. And today's practice is going to be all about just kind of getting realigned in our bodies. So nothing particularly strenuous. A lot of support if you use a chair in your practice or you'd like to use one due to any sort of injury. And then we were going to end today with a guided imagery meditation. I don't often end with those, and so hopefully it's nice. I do plan on using imagery associated with big bodies of water like the ocean and things like that. And if that makes you comfortable, please feel free to just leave early. You won't be getting into the water or anything. It's just to help the soothing sounds and sights of water calm us down a little bit. So we'll end with that. So if you want to pull up a chair, sit on your bed, sit on a couch, or stand, you're going to do the same thing standing and sitting. You're going to take the ball and you're going to place it underneath your right foot, and you are just going to rock it back and forth nice and slowly. And I know visually this is not that exciting, but hopefully internally it feels kind of nice. So while we are doing this, we're going to start dropping into our breath. I'm going to take a deep breath in through the belly and out. Good. Begin to slow down that breath. Excellent. Maybe you're making little circles with the ball. Eyes can come to close if you want. And then just feel into the sensations of the ball under your foot. You can adjust the pressure, pressing a little harder, a little firmer, and then letting up. Deep breath in and release. Regardless of if you're sitting or standing, think of lifting from that pelvis area right under your rib cage. That sternum lifts you, energy is rising up, and your shoulders settle back in their little pockets as if you are sprouting those wings we talked about last week. And while the ball is rolling around, don't neglect your heel. You can kind of go side to side on that heel. And don't neglect the tips of your toes. There is evidence and a lot of belief that accessing pressure points in the bottom of our feet can lead to release up our legs, even into our backs and neck. And of course, that's a whole sort of science and specialization in itself, but there are countless therapeutic benefits to these types of massages at the, right in the fleshy areas of our feet, rolling over the toes, the heels, and just applying controlled pressure. So I opened my eyes to give that little speech, but feel free to continue to just drop in, reconnect with your breath. If you're listening to music, maybe you just focus externally. Focus on your home base being a sensation, a sound, and just direct your energy to that. It doesn't always have to be internal to the breath. It could be an external sensation. Try to drop in wherever you are 100%. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And if you'd like to pick up your ball, switch your feet. Again, if you're standing, you can hold on to something if your supporting leg is getting a little tired, and begin that rolling of the ball gently at first, and then maybe playing with the firmness on your left foot. Good. Deep breath in, find your posture. And exhale nice and slowly. Good. While our leg and our foot is moving independently, try to find our alignment. Eyes can still be closed. You can find your alignment with closed eyes and just find, you can even place your hand over your belly button area, right near your pelvis as a grounding gesture. And then try to fit your heart space, lifting from that pelvis, lifting up and settled right above. Maybe you want to rest your other hand right on your chest to send it home. And then finally rolling the shoulders gently back. You're not forcing anything. Feel your chin level, your forehead right over your heart. Perfectly aligned. Good. Maybe you want to remove your hands or place them in any mudra you like. I like thumb to index finger, other 3 fingers relaxed out, and just the tops of my hands resting on my leg. For the last couple moments, find your either internal home base or an external home base, the sound of a vent or a fridge, and just send your attention to it. Maybe it's the music from your phone. And just dive in and live there for a few moments. When thoughts come, they come. You know, this isn't a structured meditation. It's simply accessing a meditative state. So when they come, you just gently say, hey, I notice you here. I'm just going to turn my attention back to the music or back to my breath for a couple more moments. But I'll get to you in a minute. One more breath, just like this. And release. You may flicker open your eyes gently, maybe retaining just that sense of soothing that you generated in your body while breathing. And you've given your feet a nice massage, and hopefully that that relaxation, breaking out some of those pressure points, has generated some healing up your legs. Maybe you notice it, maybe you don't, but regardless, very good tool, good tool. Excellent. So while we are standing or sitting, you're going to take the ball in your right hand. You're going to lean your right ear slightly towards your right shoulder, and just this is a very tender part of my back. You're just going to roll the ball on your shoulder blade, maybe getting into that trapezius muscle area where your shoulder kind of connects with your neck. And just be careful not to roll too aggressively on your neck. Just find that kind of meaty muscle that's always tensing when we don't want it to, and give it a little love. I'm literally hardly applying pressure, and I'm weeping. Oh, man. You'd think I did a lot of push-ups to feel this kind of tension, but that is not the case. Just simply life. Maybe you notice, if you did notice tenderness, maybe you can feel into how that sensation is changing now. With continued applied pressure, maybe you notice tension breaking up, or the tension just changing shape. Maybe it's not quite as piercing or sudden. Maybe it has spread or moved to a different part, and we're going to follow it with that ball. Good. And just recognizing our bodies are the perfect example that nothing is permanent. Even chronic pain, chronic sensations, emotional sensations, even if you feel they don't go away, they may change quality when you spend enough time slowing down and observing. Maybe instead of intense sensation, you feel a slight buzzing, or sort of it comes in waves. You just kind of get familiar with yourself and know that everything is constantly changing. Wonderful. You can just remove the ball, give it a little shake. Just notice for a moment the difference between the sides, if you notice one. And if you don't notice one, notice that too. And just on an exhale, droop that left ear towards your left shoulder, ball in your left hand, and go to town. Breathing into tense places, sending love and relaxation to these acute points along our shoulder and back and neck. Maybe with eyes closed, you can tap into a little bit of a deeper appreciation for the feelings themselves. Notice, are you attaching any emotions to the feeling? For example, I will use myself as the consummate case study. Sometimes this sensation makes me teary, not necessarily because it hurts so badly, although it sometimes does hurt, but because I get really kind of like almost a visceral reaction from feeling these tense muscles. I get almost like sick to my stomach because I feel tense, I feel anxious, I feel by touching those muscles that react when I'm tense, I am activating the emotional response that leads to the tenseness. And just now you have the opportunity to maybe slow down and begin to peel the layers off of the physical sensation and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? Am I feeling it in my body? Or am I feeling it like in my spirit, in my soul, you know, in my heart? And then we can start saying like, hey, maybe our bodies and emotions, though so interwoven and in a beautiful relationship with each other, maybe we can create some space between them. And then it's just a sensation can be a sensation and a feeling can be a feeling. And we can just get more into that meditative state, not get uptight about it, just let it be. Maybe I should do this more often. And when you're ready, remove the ball. You can send it off to the cats so they can play and give yourself a little wiggle, a little shake. Good. Now I know that you might still be hearing me as if I'm kind of underwater or over the phone. So send me a little message if this is not good for you. If you are good, then keep on being good. No need to send me anything. So this next bit, you can stay in your chair. You're like a very intense chair. I'm going to demonstrate standing up, but if you are going to stay in your chair for this, we're going to do some roll downs. And essentially you're going to do like starting with your nose, letting your nose roll your neck, roll your shoulders, and you're going to go down to your toes and then reverse the peel. And we're going to work, I'm going to kind of guide through the body parts that we are going to roll and unroll. And because it's amazing, even though we do these all the time in yoga, maybe we're just stretching after we've been in the car. Typically, we just kind of bend our knees and bend and then drop our shoulders, which is absolutely fine. If, you know, there's no wrong reason to, that's not wrong, but we're going to try to isolate parts of our body today, bring awareness to the roll down, and then see how it's different when we roll back up. And we're going to do quite a few of these. If you do get tired, please, you know, your chair is around the corner. We're probably going to do between 4 and 6 of them. So after a couple, I invite you to close your eyes. So we're going to stand or sit, hips width distance apart, feet, hips width distance apart. Inhale to again lift from that center. Deep breath in. And then exhale, simply lowering the chin, nice and slowly, letting the weight of your head begin to gently pull on your shoulders. And here's where your hips might want to get involved, trying your best to let the spine, one vertebrae at a time, moving from top of the spine, middle of the spine, getting to the base of the spine, Now activating at the waist. Continue to let your head be heavy, drooping towards the floor, knees bend as needed, hanging out once you get there. Then we're gonna bend our knees deeply, deeply, deeply. Head is heavy, and then reverse. It's going to be on an inhale. Let knees start to straighten, sending energy to your hips. Lower spine might be uncurling, middle spine, top of your spine, shoulder blades, the energy sending them back. Lift your chin, maybe you gaze up. Very nice. Now we're gonna sync that with the breath. So we're gonna take a deep breath in to start. And I might even sort of count it like a dance class. You can go in your own rhythm, but that way you know what to expect in terms of how long you're inhaling, how long you're exhaling, and just do what feels good for you. Maybe close your eyes. Inhale for a deep inhale to get tall. Exhale, melt your nose, shoulders, top of your spine, middle of your spine, base of your spine. Excellent. Bend your knees here, and as you straighten up, begin to inhale. Knees come straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, arrive. 7, 8. Exhale, nose. 3, 4, droop. 5, 6, come down. 7, 8, bend your knees and inhale. 2, 3, 4, working up your spine. 7, 8, inhale. Exhale. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and inhale. Begin to move without my count, linking it instead with your breath. It's okay if your breathing isn't perfectly synced. Just mindfully breathing as you go. I'm going to take one more. Extra attention to the spine as it rolls, like a snail shell that you're curling back up and then you're uncurling. Letting your nose be the absolute last thing. And when you get to standing, just stand tall, deep breath in, energy out through your fingers, mountain pose. Just feel what you're feeling. Bring your awareness to different feelings. Maybe it's a little bit of sweat on your forehead, or maybe your heart is kind of beating normally now that we're standing tall. Wonderful. We're just going to come to the top of our mat. Reach your arms up. Eyes can stay closed or be open. And you're just going to send your heart forward. This is just to get down to the floor. And we're going to bend our knees. 1, 2. Cross your ankles. And send your hips back into a cross-legged position. Wonderful. So from here, you're going to have your hands resting on top of your knees. You're just going to, with a tall back, tall spine, going to bring little circles into your body. And you can start small and get bigger and bigger and bigger, or you can do whatever you want. And just feel, especially as you pass your hips, feel into your body. Feel into those little sensations that tell you, oh yeah, we're stretching, or that tell you this is a relaxing position. I'm not tense. Trying to link up some breath. And when you're ready, begin to reverse the circles you make. Sending that heart through those shoulder blades, lengthen through your spine. Small circles, big circles. Letting that breath drop in and letting it release with some control. Good. One more circle. Wonderful. And here I'm facing sideways. I'm going to try to demonstrate a little bit of a contraction. So here, just to become mindful of the different kind of parts of our upper body, we're going to start, take your hand and kind of scoop out any flesh underneath your booty so that those sits bones can feel a little bit more connected with the earth. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in and expand our hearts up through the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to contract. And the contraction here, instead of contracting at the upper body like we sometimes do in our cat and cows, we're going to try to isolate the contraction, or not isolate, we're going to try to originate the contraction in our lower belly. So on the exhale, trying to think almost as if someone poked you right in the belly button and you're like, hey, like get away from me. And then your spine is just going to continue that roundness. And then inhale again, pulling from that lower belly to send your heart up. And then exhale, starting with there, the lower part, letting your spine round. Good. So you're just inhaling and exhaling, originating from this part of your belly. And your head, as an extension of your spine, will just continue the circles. And I had a little, and just for a little visual, the idea when we contract, if this is our spine when we are sitting, this is a hair tie, I'll actually come a little closer. When we contract, we're not trying to collapse. We're actually trying to add length to our spine. So when we contract, we get a little longer, creating a little space between those vertebrae. And even though we're rounding, we're still stretching up and around rather than, so heart over pelvis, then we just send the lower back. All right, let's take a couple. This is just on your own. We're going to take a deep inhale, send that heart out through the sky. And then exhale, contract, starting with that lower belly, letting the spine follow. Inhale, lower belly first, expand. Exhale, contract. Do two more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. That's it. Getting long, up and over. Inhale, expand, tall spine. Exhale, contract like you're contracting over the earth. That's it. And then inhale to come to sitting. We're going to just hug our knees in. And then exhale, open them up into a straddle. It doesn't have to be a wide straddle. Toes up at the ceiling, or toes can be pointed, just having your toes involved. Same thing, you can have your hands behind you just to support you. Inhale, tall spine. Expand, exhale, contract. Inhale. And exhale, contract. It's very different in this straddle position. My arms almost necessarily lift. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Contract nice and round. One more. Inhale. Expand. Deep breath. Exhale. Lower belly. Round. Nice and long. Great job. Inhale to come back to neutral. And let's just tuck in our knees. And then send them out long. Take a deep breath. Arms up. And then exhale, just fold over. You have a pillow handy, you can stack it here. You can always bend your knees and reach underneath your calves. And if forward folds, these can be very challenging. If this is just like a lot of sensation, even with knees bent, just work on finding that expansion in your spine. Knees can be bent. Good, and just hold it for a few more breaths wherever you are. Good. Maybe we can inhale, get that expansion in our spine, and send it back. Well done. Funny, in the classical music playlist, there's like applause for the music, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Wonderful. Now we're just gonna again sit with our, face you, our knees crossed, whichever foot you like in front. We're gonna do a little breathing exercise to guide us into our meditation. So hands behind you, inhale, heart lift. And then exhale, you're gonna bring your left hand to your right knee, little twist. And then you're just gonna rotate. Inhale, up. Exhale, right knee to left leg, twist. So find your rhythm for a few moments, then we'll add some breathing exercise in. Twisting from that lower belly again. Excellent, finding your range. Now with every exhale, we're gonna go ha, like H-A. Nice wide mouth. Really feel that soft palate in the back of your throat lifting as your tongue in the back kind of lowers. You really have this happening in the back of your mouth, like hot breath. Hot breath, very yoga, lovely. So inhale to reset. Exhale, twist. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, ha. Take 4 more total. Excellent. And when you're ready, come on back to neutral spine. You may do your meditation in a chair. You can lie down on the floor. And I'm going to lead you through a guided imagery here. So if you want to just have a few moments just reclining before we start, find some spaciousness, maybe lower your gaze, close your eyes, and just feel into yourself here. Nothing to do. And for those of you who are not interested in a meditation about water, the ocean, I invite you now, if you'd like to leave or just mute the screen, and just just take stock of the sensations and the so inhale, the expansion and the contractions that we brought into our breath work today. Excellent. So for everybody who's hanging out for the meditation, this is guided imagery, and the purpose of which is simply to, if sometimes focusing inward is hard, meditating is hard, like how am I pushing my thoughts away? It sometimes makes us more anxious. And the beauty is that there's so many kinds of meditations. Some of them are singing, some of them are movement based. There's so many. So this is a guided meditation, a place where you can send your mind to focus and keep it active without it feeling pulled necessarily down by intrusive thoughts and the thoughts you don't want to think that don't facilitate a calm state. So if you just want to take a moment, we're going to do a little bit of self-measuring. Take a moment, eyes can be closed, just feeling into how you're feeling. We just moved through a movement practice. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you are so chill, you just like woke up with like the softest pillows, the wind is blowing on your face, you have not a care in the world, to 10 being like you are, extremely nervous, very unhappy, very uptight, uncomfortable, to the point where you may need to ask somebody for some support. I would like you to rate yours. Super simple scale. Are you a 4? Are you a 7? Are you somewhere in between? And not how you started the day, but simply how you are now. So just take a few moments and just think of your number. Excellent. And now we move into our guided imagery. So with eyes closed, feeling relaxed, being comfortable, begin to activate your imagination, and we are going to imagine that all the space around us has transformed. And it's no longer the room we are in, we're no longer in the houses we are in, but actually we are outdoors and it's sunrise. So there's still some darkness, but you're starting to be able to see the light shining between different trees. And notice if a picture starts to materialize. You're outdoors and the weather, it's not just nice, it's actually perfect. You feel maybe a slight breeze in the weather, the air is warm, and you're walking either along a dock or maybe through the sand, just walking towards the water's edge, taking one step after the other, nowhere to be. And you get to the edge, maybe of the dock or to the shoreline, and you look over and you just take in everything that you see. The water is calm. You see some ripples, maybe a surface of wind-blown stillness. It's sunrise, and you see maybe in the palm trees, or maybe you're at a lake and you see the pine trees. You can see the sun peeking around the leaves, through the branches. You feel that breeze, and you are all alone before the world has woken up. You take a deep breath in through your nose. You smell the water. Is it salty? Is it fresh? Do you smell the greenness around you, or do you smell the dryness of the air? You can almost taste it in the back of your throat from just the smell being so fragrant, the air being so calm, the water, you can hear it lapping at the edges of the dock, or maybe the gentle waves coming in to break at the shore. You just look around. Even in the moments, just the moments that you have been standing there or resting there, the sun and the earth's axis is already changing the way the light is shining. And you look out onto the water and you see the sun rising in the distant horizon, almost as if it's lifting, dripping wet from the water itself. Bright pink and orange first sun of the day, casting everything around it in a different light, in a warmer light. Maybe you're holding a cup of tea and you feel the steam hitting your chin, and you can smell the mint leaves or the black tea, whatever you enjoy. It's not only something you taste, but you feel and you smell, and you're holding the heaviness in your hands. And you're only here for a few moments, because even already on this beautiful, beautiful morning, you see people are starting to take their dogs out for a walk, and maybe you see a family walking along the shore. And you know that the world is waking up, but that you've had these few moments to really be with it, to experience this time of day. Maybe you take one last look as the sun is shining brighter and stronger. You feel your skin warming. And you turn slowly and begin to walk back where you came from to begin your day, refreshed, calm, warm, and safe. Now, as you take these steps back from the direction you came from, you have a different view in front of you. Everything is lit and becoming active, becoming bright, and the day is in front of you. Take a deep breath here and begin to feel yourself slowly morphing back in space and time and arrive right in to the physical space that you currently are living in. Become aware of your physical surroundings. Feel the floor under your body. Smell the air. Notice how your skin feels over your body. Begin to make little fists with your hands, maybe wiggle your toes, bringing some activity back into your body. And just acknowledge that just as we returned home, we can return to that place of calm. We can always return wherever we feel safe. And all we need is just a moment alone. You can always return. As you're bringing movement back into your body, maybe you want to flicker open your eyes. Maybe you want to look around and just settle into yourself. The same person, but also a different person than before we started on this journey together. And I want to end this there and just say thank you so very much. My eyes are still blinking open. I hope that you can take whatever sensation you feel and carry it with you if it is soothing for as long as you can. And just to finish off our self-measurement scale, just take stock, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, where on that 1 to 10 scale do you live now? And perhaps your score is lower, perhaps it's the same, perhaps it's higher, but you went through this journey and now you have a little bit more data to go through your day with. So I want to say thank you for joining me today. Namaste. In conclusion of our practice, and any donations today go to GLSEN Philly. They're an organization that works to ensure safe schooling and safe access to schooling and education, regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity of the students. A very worthy and wonderful cause. So thank you so much. I hope to see you all soon. Goodness. And I hope you feel more aligned in your day. Take care, everybody.